Hi everyone, this is Kasia. Welcome to Tarot Map. In today's video we are going to be talking about the nodal axis because you may have heard, but the nodes, the south node and north node of the moon have just changed signs, okay? North node and south node are actually two mathematical points, and this is where the moon's orbit crosses or intersects with the ecliptic, the sun's orbit. When the moon and sun paths cross and intersect, this point is a north node and south node of the moon. They do it on two points around the ecliptic, and these points always move in like counterclockwise. So if the planets move this way and we go from Neptune, from Pisces to Aries, from Aries to Taurus, the north node and south node will move other way around. So we just finished having north node and south node in Aries and Libra. They always in opposition. Now they're moving back from Aries into Pisces and Virgo axis. So nodes take around, roughly 18.5 years to complete the full orbit around the zodiac. And they spend around year and a half, 18 months in each sign. So the north node in Aries and south node in Libra that we just finishing, think back over 2023, 2024 in terms of relating, collaborating, paying attention to your own needs versus relational needs. North node in Aries, and by the way, like north node and south node often are connected to the image of the dragon, where north node is like the head of the dragon and south node points more towards tail of the dragon. North node is connected to the images of the future, of something that we are developing, of us stepping out of control, of our comfort zones, and exploring some new qualities, adding something to our experiences. Whereas south node is more past gifts, and sometimes it points towards past lives, towards I like to combine it with like karma for south node and dharma for north node, if you're familiar with those Buddhist terms. But south node points towards things that we may be most likely, if we assume that we have many past lives, etc., and that there is some continuum, most likely we have been working with these themes in the past. Thus we bring the gifts of these themes, but also it is a point of release, of letting go of certain things, of releasing certain contracts and connections and relationships and qualities. Because we are developing this lifetime the opposing point, which is the north node. So when you think back, the north node was in Aries, and this Aries always brings in the themes of individuality, courage, self-discovery. Ego is always the I, the first sign of the zodiac, but also you could have dealt with quite a few depending on the person and what aspects your nodes are activating in your chart. A plug, if you need an astrology reading, if you don't know anything about the nodes, in my life purpose reading, I always include the information about the nodal axis, or if you want, you can always purchase the tarot mentoring session or tarot astrological live session, and we can talk only about the nodes if this is of your interest. So north node in Aries could also point towards exploring and not releasing, because this north node developing and focusing on some long-held anger, frustration, sometimes even violent like memories, and learning how to be more assertive and how to develop the healthy ego, which is good boundaries and self-respect, while balancing complexities of connection, which Libra South Node is, also talking about. So South Node in Libra, reflect on your relationships, compromise, balance between me and we. Over this last 2023, 2024, a lot of us were calibrating relationships. We were letting go maybe of people that are not longer with us by choice or by life, balancing, harmonizing our environments, and releasing maybe a lot of unhealthy relationships patterns. So around January 11, 12, depending what program you use, a North Node and South Node of the Moon moved counterclockwise, right, from Aries and Libra into Pisces and Virgo axis. So we back to our favorite cards this year, it seems. The North Node right now moved from Aries into Pisces. Pisces in Tarot is connected to the card of the Moon. And the South Node from Libra into Virgo. So we back to our Hermit 2025, a year of a Hermit. You can watch my previous video and check it out, how that shows up with tarot cards and astrology. So Hermit in this deck, which is called Ale Tarot deck by Alessandra. I will link her below in the description. You can get it on Etsy if you like. This is the major only funky take on major arcana of Tarot de Marseille. And here it's an interesting take because from the Virgo North Node, this is what we are releasing, kind of the gifts we're bringing into this lifetime. We bring in our experience, we bring in our wisdom, we bring in our determination. Virgo is connected with day-to-day practical energy. A lot of Virgo is connected with good discerning. It's connected with bringing our spiritual wisdom into embodied practice. So Virgo energy is very connected to health and anything like looking at health in a holistic way. So a lot of us will be maybe challenged or pushed to get interested in how we take care of ourselves, how we can prevent and use more preventative medicine rather than just rely on medication and doctors. Virgos love herbalism, aromatherapy, flower essences, and because we entering that kind of energetic part of our evolution, any type of vibrational medicine would be really great. Expanding your knowledge as well, but also connecting to your bodies, because Virgo is an earth sign and it's connected to the body. So the nodal axis with North Node being in Pisces and South Node being in Virgo brings theme of balancing like practical day-to-day matters and then healthy habits with mystical, dissolving, unconscious, dreamy essence of Pisces. Pisces is a very creative, mystical, we call Pisces the mystic of the zodiac. So we really are asked to develop, because with North Node, this is our focus. This is kind of the future. This is the dragon's head, what we want to develop. Hermit can, light the way for us. So whatever we bring from the past experiences, whatever we bring from our past knowledge, is to shed the light on some unconscious pattern, unhealthy patterns. With the Moon, it could be also addictive patterns, something that, still like some inner struggle. But what I love about this card, that the crabs, they outside of the water already. The Moon is reflected in the water, but whatever is ready to be dealt with from our unconscious, a pool of unconsciousness, we can deal with it right now. It's a very healing axis. It brings a lot of focus on unconditional love, forgiveness, developing our intuition, imagination, and really trusting those over only focusing on mind matters. When we look at, and here I'm using as a holistic astrological cards by my friend Karni Zor. Hi Carney, if you ever watch this. So Virgo and Pisces, this is the axis: accuracy with Virgo ruled by Mercury, and Pisces with imagination. So here we have Earth with our south node, and here we have water, imagination, two fish swimming. One wants to dissolve into, you know, omnipresence of the God, and the other wants to experience the human ego, the human experiences. So there is always that sense of mystical crossing over with Pisces and being in between the worlds. But Virgo wants us to bring it to earth. So this is really an important year and a half, 18 months of us living out our beliefs, living out our spirituality, shedding light of any unconscious, biological, karmic, you know, conditioned during our childhood patterns of behavior that we are ready to see, and we are ready to integrate, and we are ready to reclaim. This is really perfect 18 months for walking your talk and living out what you believe in. For some of us, it may be really figuring out what we believe in. And it oscillates between these themes of balancing, you know, practical day-to-day matters with mystical and spiritual kind of take on life. It's perfectionism with Virgo. If we look at the shadow side of Virgo, control, fear, and kind of this sense of like I'm in control of things versus trust, following the cycles and observing and learning from the moon and lunar cycles as a symbolic matter of, you know, that things change and then you get to redo things, return, you know, the time moves in spiral rather than line and linear. So Virgo heals through precision, through organization, through clearing, through practical service, through medical and, you know, holistic look at the body, through embracing wisdom, and also through ritual. Virgos, actually, this is the most ancient, one of the most ancient goddess constellation, you know, even until now we see Virgo constellation as a goddess, and I know it has nothing to do with the constellation in this sense, but Virgo energy came from observing that constellation, right? So with Virgo going through this, you know, clearing your energy, taking care of your body, maybe embarking on some body routine, health routine, exercise routine, looking at your diet, anything that's practical that keeps you healthy and well and wealthy would be really perfect to look at. And because this is the south node, it's good to release anything that actually doesn't make you healthy, right? And that includes unhealthy behavioral patterns that we may bring out from our upbringing, conditioning, relationships, our connection with mother, maybe. This is also, you know, the moon symbolizes connection to the mom and cutting off the umbilical cord and really healing and forgiving and releasing any unhealthy patterns related to that mother wound. It's integration of matter and spirit, earthly Virgo and ethereal Pisces. And because North Node is in Pisces, it really encourages us to develop our intuitive muscle, to trust our intuition, to explore our imagination. Often, you know, North Node in Pisces really can shift how we perceive reality. There can be some expansion, there can be some mystical experiences. It's a really good time for integrating and meditating and reflecting on the unseen world, following the hunts of your, you know, like, oh, I've got this intuitive hits. Also exploring the intangible and the energy around you and in you, because we are energetic beings. So Pisces also teaches detachment. Do not take yourself so seriously. Learn to like realize that you're part of a really big whole, and you know, just have a laugh at times. Don't take it so seriously. So imagination, intuition, that's Pisces. And Virgo, of course, teaches us also accuracy, and the opposition is thinking and relying only on the mind, and we developing this side now, the Piscean side, right? So the last time the nodes were in Virgo and Pisces, it was 2015 to 2017, but it was in reversed order. So the North Node was in Virgo and the South Node was in Pisces. The last time they were in exact the same order was around 2006 and 2007. So if you're old enough and you can remember, think back to 2006, 2007. For me, I remember I really started studying astrology really seriously back then. In 2005, I did like level 1, and then my teacher has died, and then I started studying with Alan Oken and with Maggie Kerr around this time, and it was like intensive 2-year long astrological school with therapeutical elements as well. This is where I graduated, like I got my diploma from Maggie Kerr and Alan Oken. And what else did I do? I definitely lived in Australia back then, definitely changed also work. I started working at Tree of Life. So think of the themes, something that you kind of remember that was, you know, obviously a lot of things happened, but something that was sticking out from those years. Because when the nodes return 18 and a half years later, to their own, you know, the same point, they might bring similar themes like Jupiter return or something. These are good cycles to observe because they long enough, but also they short enough for us to kind of follow them through. So if your nodes are in Virgo and Pisces, especially if your North Node is in Pisces, you will have nodal return. That's a very interesting, transit that kind of marks major karmic crossroads. There will be some realignment maybe that you need to do if you are off path, if that's even possible, I don't know. I think we usually kind of on path. We just need to release what we like, sometimes expectations and so on. But I thought for, you know, Virgo and Pisces, I'd love to see for Pisces. I was thinking what energy would be great, what essential oils would be great to use to kind of unify, you know, to, yes, focus on that Piscean self, but use the gifts of the Virgo North Node. And I thought, of course, rose would be such a wonderful oil for combination of the two. Here rose says nurtures love for self and others, anything that kind of brings in together self and others, and also brings in together healing, acting from the heart energy and embodying your true spirituality. I thought basil would be really great because it restores body, mind and spirit, and this combo, it's great for like body, mind, spirit connection. Sandalwood unifies mind, body and spirit, would be a great oil to work with. And I think clary sage for any women around from like 40 till 60, it would be great to work with because it balances our hormones, and it's just a balancing oil altogether for our psyche and for our just bodies and hormonal production. And I thought for Pisces, for imagination, I think like lovely oils to consider would be maybe Roman chamomile, anything that kind of calms you down and takes you to that kind of alpha state when you can more easily connect with your imagination. Copaiba oil, which is a wonderful oil. It can be used even if in exchange of, you know, marijuana oil. Melissa, which delivers deep healing, it's deeply relaxing, balancing oil. Bergamot, that also with Pisces and Hermit, we can feel that sometimes the energy can be touched like dissociated, withdrawn. Maybe it's, you know, time when it's good to do some spiritual work. It's not very outgoing, so bergamot is able to pick up our spirit if we feel a little bit down, depressed or heavy. Bergamot oil, it's really wonderful to, you know, lift us up, and it's actually clinically proven by now, bergamot use of bergamot in depression, in any type of, like, you know, feeling under the water. And then jasmine, I thought, you know, it's kind of opens us up. Maybe even peppermint, something that acts as an opener. Whenever you breathe peppermint, it's already this like, you know, big opener. It's a good gateway to follow through. Like, how cool would be that mix of rose, jasmine, bergamot and melissa oil? I like that. All right, so this is what I wanted to share right now for today. And so for the next couple of good months, observe, enjoy, check what houses North Node in Pisces and South Node in Virgo are passing through. What are they activating? Are they doing any squares, oppositions, etc. to any other of your planets, natal planets? This is a really fascinating way to also be, you know, collectively we also developing the trust, and collectively maybe we also working on discovering and uncovering stuff around health, medical advice. I think medical systems might change, and there will be much more, I think, like energetic and holistic medicinal input available, and people will start paying attention to it as well, which I think it's wonderful, because I love that saying from, I think it's from some Chinese medicine lectures that I listened to, that, you know, doctors used to be paid when everyone in the village was healthy and not when people were sick, because their job was to keep people healthy and not other way around, you know, addict them to medication, etc. So Goddess bless all the medical systems, and I think we can really benefit from all of them, but let's develop a little bit more self-interest in our own health and self-empowerment about our own health. We don't have to run with every little thing to the doctor and take artificial medication. We can rely on health, wisdom of our body. We can rely on herbs, on essential oils, on massage therapy, on touch, on, you know, good food. So I think these themes are going to be quite important over the next 18 months, with the nodes being in Pisces and Virgo again. Let me know what you think about it. I invite you to get the Where's the Full Heading reading. If you want your personal cycles, I can you know, speak about the notes if you just write me while you purchase for you. And this reading is only available till the end of January. A lot of you have gotten it, thank you so much. But if you have missed it, or if you want to see how my reading style is, I always mix astrology and tarot, so please go and check it out. It will be linked below. It's going to disappear end of January and appear in December 2025. Bye everyone, see you soon.